Oh, what did we read this week?
We read Mirror.
We read Mirror.
Ah.
What a confusing story Mirror is.
Kind of like, I don't.
No words. That's it. Weekly Geek is done.
It's a comic about
magical
animals.
Man in love with animal.
Magical asteroid.
That's about the most that we could get out of this comic.
It's like purposely ambiguous, and it jumps back and forth in time. They give you a timeline, which is just as confusing.
Just as confusing as the comic itself.
And you just I don't understand where the control is, who has the power.
Yeah.
If there's an anti-hero, villain anywhere in this.
I wasn't actually sure who the protagonist was.
Yeah, me either.
Like,
I think it's this guy. That's my guess. I mean, please, if anyone's read this.
And you get it, because I read from the first page to the last page, I was equally confused. It's definitely...
And I read it twice, and I'm still just like, alright. But like, as soon as I think I have something figured out, then I find that I have another question about something that doesn't make sense.
It made me feel dumb. I was like, should I get this? I bet you, does everyone else get it and I don't? That's how I felt the whole time.
I mean, there are a ton of comics out there like this that are purposely ambiguous. They try to get you to get into the story, be like, oh wow, I need to know what's going on. Because there's no like cliffhanger. Like, I guess that's too cliche nowadays, is to start a comic with a cliffhanger. There's no like huge action in the beginning of it.
I think there was only one part that was an action, but it was kind of like to explain something, but it just made things more confusing. Ugh.
I know, because you get like, okay, they're gonna explain it, right? And you're just like, no, they just opened up a whole nother can of worms. So
Emma Rios. Emma Rios is who wrote the story.
Right.
And I don't know, you think you'll be able to read the second one?
I'm going to, just because I want answers.
What if they don't answer any more questions?
Then you owe me $3, Emma Rios. Like, really?
But I don't like the way the comic feels in my hands.
Well,
the paper.
It is a first issue, and first issues don't generally get the nicest paper, budget-wise, things like that.
When I was flipping the pages, I was like...
It kept feeling like there's like a page that you missed, right?
Yeah. I was like... Felt like my fingers were stuck on the page.
Yeah, I don't know.
What would you rate this?
I'd rate it 4 pizza slices.
I would rate it a 4 out of 8 pizza slices too. Because I just feel like it's definitely it could be a pretty story. It could draw you in emotionally, but it's really hard to get past the confusion. That's what's hard for me.
I know. I mean, and a lot of comics start out with like a confusing way, like ones that have been around, like that are like Saga. That one starts out and you're just like, wait, what's going on? But it's just done in a way where you're like fed enough information and you can kind of make your own conclusions about what's going on. This one you can't do that. I
feel like with this one, I was just making things up myself to make sense of it. So maybe and that's why we had kind of differing, confusing thoughts. Because you said something about an asteroid and I was like, what? This is not an asteroid?
Yes, and there's a mage, and there's...
a mage? I didn't even know what that was until Jenna explained to me that it was a witch. A mage just sounds like a dirty, person to me. I don't know. But nonetheless, let's read the second one. Let's see what the second one's all about.
Yeah, we'll give it another shot. I mean, it is kind of pretty. I like how it's painted and it looks like
Watercolors are nice.
watercolors. It might not all be watercolor because some of it looks like it might be marker too in there. I don't know.
I don't like the drawing itself, but I just naturally like watercolor comics.
They're softer.
But that is it for our very short weekly because we're so confused. Please subscribe and follow us on Instagram and